I've been using the Redmi Note 8 Pro for about a week now. What are my thoughts on using the phone? What are the good parts and what are some parts that could be improved? So Redmi are using a new processor in this one, the MediaTek G90T. It's an unknown processor and using a Snapdragon would have been an easier choice. People know those processors. But all in all, the MediaTek chip really has done well considering the price of the phone. So firstly, I know a lot of stuff came out online saying that the phone actually heats up and gets way too hot and it's an issue or a problem. But that's just something that, having used the phone for the past week, having played games on it for a long time, hasn't been an issue for me whatsoever. Yes, the phone does heat up, but it never got hot enough for me to seriously consider there being a big problem with the phone. Redmi put a 4,500 milliamp hour battery in this thing, which is very, very good, and it gives you an incredible battery life. It has fast charging for the price too, 18 watt fast charging. That's pretty good when you compare that to the competition. I've never really had use for it because I charge it overnight and then I have battery for the whole day, not even getting close to running out. The design overall, in my opinion, is a huge step up from the Redmi Note 7 series. When I was recording video, the audio as it was recorded, my voice, was way better than any other of the Xiaomi or Redmi phones. It picked up a better sounding voice and it was richer and deeper and just sounded better than any of the other phones. The fingerprint sensor on the back is incredibly accurate and fast, but I have to say, just my personal opinion, my least favored way of unlocking the phone is having the fingerprint sensor on the back. Even though it is in the middle in a good spot, I always feel like you have to fumble around to try and press it when you're not looking at it. So I've just been using face unlocking on this. Face unlocking is incredibly quick and accurate. As soon as you pick up the phone, it's basically unlocked. You can just swipe up and start. Camera quality is hugely improved over the previous Note 7 series and goes toe to toe with a load of way more expensive phones. That is for pictures, not so much for video. Picture quality, first off, is very, very good. I did some tests versus a couple of other phones, and this 64 megapixel sensor just does shoot clearer images than other sensors like 48 megapixel sensors. It's clearer and it seemed to deal with HDR in a better way too. That might be down to the hardware and it might be down to the software or both. So when you're shooting with that main camera sensor, it's great. However, the ultra wide camera and video on this phone, for me, just aren't really up to scratch. Now this is a budget phone and just having an ultra wide camera at this price point is a good thing. A lot of the competition at this price just don't have an ultra wide camera whatsoever. However, ultra wide images just aren't really that great, and even video off the main camera lens has a lot of noise. It isn't sharp and it just generally doesn't really look that great. The depth sensor does a good job for portraits, and the macro lens is probably not something that many people are going to use often, if ever. This is a good gaming device. When I was playing PUBG, I found that I could use high frame rate mode. That's a really good thing. I think it gives a much better gaming experience when you have high frame rate mode on, although be aware that I'm playing the Chinese version of PUBG and they are slightly different, so I'm not sure if you can get high frame rate mode on the worldwide version. I think it gives good value for money, as most, if not all, Redmi phones do. It's well put together, it's got a big battery and it does gaming well. And the 64 megapixel sensor for the price is surprisingly good. Not a perfect phone, and of course you wouldn't expect that, but another solid effort from Xiaomi and Redmi here. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you in the next one.